All right, guys. I wanted to do a quick video for you because with this release today, we actually snuck something in kind of a secret beta that I wanted to throw out there for the few of you who are really into our dynamic CMS. There's no interface for this, so this is going to be a little technical. But what it is that it's a search for a block. So I'm going to show you first what it does, and second how I did it. Again, this is a secret beta, so please don't. It's actually live in all accounts, but please don't share it yet. It's not been through full QA. It does work pretty well, but we have a whole QA process where we nail down everything, and it hasn't been through that yet. So this isn't a real release yet. But before I go into it, I want to just say that this looks a little complicated. It is. We're launching this project in 3 phases. The first phase is this one. So we've actually kind of created the back end functionality here, and now you can use it with this kind of tricky system that I'm going to show you right now. But you'll imagine that it would be nice if it was simpler for most users, and that's going to be in a future phase of this project. We're going to so we're going to do the front end, right? So the front end is the actual interfacey part, and what that will eventually look like is an element on a page that you can just drop in, and it'll do all this stuff automatically. In fact, we just began that project with engineering yesterday. It'll be a while before it's out because we got another chunk of this. There's 3 phases. The one we just did. We got a next one, which I'll explain in a minute, and then the third one, which is the actual interface for this thing, which will make it easy. But for you guys, if you're into this dynamic CMS and you're not afraid of a little bit of code, you're going to be able to create a search functionality with your dynamic blocks. And so here's Ontraport University. Again, this is live. You can come to this and check it out if you want. Again, don't share it, please. But Ontraport/university/search. Actually, we might just publish this because it is working pretty well. But you can, search for a thing. And here's what you have. This is courses that have something to do with forms. And then down here, you can see it's forms on Ontraport pages, Ontraport forms, and legacy forms, and multi-step forms. All the form stuff is here. And then there's other things that have forms, conversations about forms deeper in the data. So this is the way this is working is it's first matching based on the title field, and then next it's matching based on this right here, this description, and then last it's actually going to the full transcript and looking in the transcript for the word forms. Now in this case, there's no transcript that has the word forms that isn't already on this page. So we're not seeing anything else here, but yeah, pretty cool. So you can say you can say marketing and get all the marketing stuff here. And so there's Ontraport for marketing, and then here's the marketing stuff. There's only one. See, here's a better example. Marketing in the title, and then if we look for marketing, it'll be marketing in the description here, and then later on. Well, I guess there's not examples of it in the actual long text. So let me show you how this works. It's again a little complicated, but if you can see how this is going to be useful, right? It's going to be pretty cool. So what I've done here is I've actually added a form field, and it's a form field. I did it in context, but that's wrong. You should do it in another object. Any other object will work, because we don't want people who search this thing to get tagged as that particular contact, right? So just any other form object, but contacts. And then it's a search bar, and I've created a field in that object called search, right, or search term, or whatever you want to call it. In my case, I just called it search. And so when people input their search term, it goes into that field. They click search. Now, what you'll see here is that it's going to this very crazy It's going to this very crazy URL. I'm going to copy the URL and kind of walk you through it. But basically, here's how, I'll do that in a second. First, I just want to show you kind of what we can do with this thing. I'm going to start simple and then get more complicated. So first of all, you can just say question mark, search for, and then equals any term. And you just click that and it will search. And what it will search for in this case is it'll search in any of the fields that appear on the screen. So the fields you've merged onto the screen. So you'll see reporting in every one of these. If I actually do a Control F, reporting, what the heck? Oh, I frozen my screen. What in the world? Why can't I search? There we go. Reporting. So you'll see reporting shows up in all these fields that are on this. In every case, reporting shows up on the screen. Here is what I'm trying to say. So that's really cool. Very simple. But sometimes, like in this case, you want to actually search in fields that are not on the screen. So for example, I want to be able to search in the full transcript of these lessons for stuff about reporting, right? And so if I want to do that, then I got to kind of go to the next level of this thing, and I start adding to this URL. And so the format is like this. You start with the field name. So lesson title is what it is in my case, and then you put a colon, and then you put reporting after that. Great. So we'll see what happens here. And notice that the browser automatically turns the space into a #20. And now what you'll see is that in the title you have, okay, so first of all, these are courses up here. These are lessons down here. There is no field in courses called lesson title. So when there's no field that matches, it just ignores that. So what you're seeing here is all the lessons, or sorry, all the courses, because it's just ignored that since it didn't find that field. But down here, it did find that field in the title. And so it's going to show me all the situations where reporting is in the title. Okay. Now I could also put a comma here and say reporting marketing. Actually, I could do it either way. Reporting, or maybe I want to say like, this is kind of an interesting example, form settings. If I do that, what it's going to do is it's going to search for form and settings separately. So we're going to get a lot of things here because settings is everywhere, right? And so those are going to be and type situations. Now I could do something interesting here. I could do form comma settings. And what that'll do is it'll order the results. First results for forms and then results for settings. I'm not going to bother with that right now. I can also do a third thing, which is put quotes around it. And that's going to search for only form settings as a, and now we're into much less stuff, right? Stuff that's in the title that says form settings. Okay, so that's all good to know. Now, if I want to, forms, I'm going to say. Now, if I want to search in the next field, I can go like this. Lesson short. Oh, sorry, I should say it. It's a semicolon that separates field types. Short description, colon, and then I'd search for forms again. And now let's see what happens. Again, ignored because that doesn't appear in this first block. And but here now we have the situation where it. So I search for forms. Notice, and down here, forms does not appear in the title. It's form. That's different, but it does appear down here, right? Same thing here. Same thing in all these places. So that's kind of how that's working. And in my case, I went a little bit farther and I said semicolon again, and I did transcription. The field in our thing is called transcription parentheses rich text unparentheses colon and then forms again. Okay, so that's how that works. And now it'll do all of them. I don't know if there's any more there, but there it is. So that's pretty cool. There's one other feature that you want to know about, and that is if you only want to search in one block instead of trying to search in all the blocks, you can put the block ID in here. And the way you do that is you go, well, I'll show you. You go down here and you go, this is the one, you click here and you grab this block ID right there. You come back here, and after the search for and before everything else, like this, you do bracket ID closed square bracket, like that. And now it's telling us only search in this particular field. So I could actually just go like this, delete all this stuff and go forms. And now what's going to happen is it's going to just ignore courses. It's going to show me all the results, even though one of them does say forms, I think, or maybe it doesn't. Actually, a better example, because I don't think there is forms. Ugh, why is my browser acting so long? There we go. Yeah, there's no example up here. Let me use a different example of marketing. And so what you're going to see is, if I were searching the top block, only this one would show up, but I am not searching that because I put the block ID of the second one, and now here it's dealing with all the marketing stuff, right? So, of course, I can do both. So watch this. I can do, I can go up here, and I can grab this block and the ID, copy, and I can do it again up here. So I can say and search for parentheses. Now this is the other ID for the courses, and I could say search for equals marketing, and here I'll put forms. So it'll be forms in the bottom, marketing in the top. Let's see what happens. And it didn't work. And why? Because I typed search form instead of search for. Let's try again. And I still didn't get it right. Ah, man, my glasses. What have I done wrong? Okay, I still typed it wrong. Use the glasses, Landon. Okay, there we go. Now we have marketing at the top, forms on the bottom, just as we expect. Okay, so now you can see that's how this thing works. Very cool, right? Now let me just show you how I accomplished this. It's really simple. I just went here to this this form, and I just took this in the custom URL, and I created the format like I wanted it, and then I just merged in the field into all the spots along the way. You can see it's over and over again. Search in the description, search in the rich text, right? Search in, and then I did it in the other block too, because it's different fields, lesson title, short description. So I just kind of kept going for it. I also just added this thing at the end called search term search. The reason I did that is I wanted to pull that down and put it in. You probably can see if I use this. What happens is that it pulls, so it shows kind of the search I already did in the pre-fill there. I can type over it or whatever, but that is kind of cool. And so the way I did that is I plopped that search term right in there because it just pulls down from the URL and plops it in there. But if the search term, like if I first come to the page, I don't want that because it doesn't merge. So I just created a condition here that shows this one if search term exists in the URL, and show this one if it doesn't exist in the URL. So that's kind of how that works. The only other thing to be aware of is that if you use an object, it's going to create a record for every search, right? That might be cool. Maybe you make an object called search history, and every time somebody searches, you will get the search term in a new record. Boom, boom, boom. And you can look at those and you can delete them later, whatever you want to do. Just so you can get an idea of what people are searching for. But if you don't want to do that, then what I would do is just put in my case, like I said, I use contacts, but don't do that. Use it something else. And so just use a unique ID. Do it once, grab the unique ID, and then merge in the unique ID so it merges every time with the same record. And then what you get is the same record getting updated, and you'll see the search term history in the automation logs or the contact log as well. So again, complicated, not that complicated, right? Not that complicated, but that's how we set this up right now. Go ahead and play with this, see what you think. We're going to do some more sophisticated stuff next. Filters, so you can say, search for, things like, the price of my house is that I'm searching for is more than $500,000 but less than $1 million, or stuff like that. So you can kind of get more granular with dates and stuff like that. That's going to be next, and then we're going to work on the interface element. So you can just drag a search bar on the page, pick the fields that you want to search into, and be done. So you don't have to do all this rigmarole and deal with creating new records and stuff like that. But so this is just for you guys right now. I want to see what you think. Give it a shot, and let me know if this is useful. Thanks for watching.